You know, one of the successes that Sony has had with their Marvel properties, I mean, obviously their biggest ones are the Spider-Verse movies. I think the two best Spider-Man movies ever made, to be honest with you, live action or otherwise. But they had a lot of success with Venom. Combined, the three films nearly made $2 billion, which is wild when you think about it. And I personally, even though a lot of my fellow critics did not like the first one, I had a ball with the first one. I was really entertained by the first one. My joy with them diminished over each film. Like, I still like the second one. And the third one was whatever, but they made a ton of money for them. And I really did like Tom Hardy's Venom. I love the iteration of the character. I thought he was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it immensely. And they brought him to his conclusion. Not a great conclusion, but a conclusion nonetheless. Well, it looks like Venom ain't done. And Tom Hardy's involvement is also not done. Only now, it's going to be animated. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety, who are writing the following. Venom animated movie in the works from Final Destination Bloodlines filmmakers, and Tom Hardy will be involved creatively in the project. They write the following. Venom, the snaggletooth symbiote who has become a favorite Spider-Man baddie, will appear in an animated film from Final Destination Bloodline directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. Tom Hardy, who played Eddie Brock and his befanged counterpart in 3 live-action Venom movies, will be involved in the project according to the studio source. It's unclear, however, if he will voice the character in the installment or if he will serve in some other role. The project is in the early stages of development, so a lot could change. Critics more or less hated the Venom franchise, fair to say, but the films were massive hits, collectively earning more than $1.8 billion globally. You know, Venom is one of the big reasons. I remember a few months ago, we ran the numbers. And as much as all of us cry and bitch and moan and complain about how badly Sony has botched a lot of their Spider-Verse movies, I'm looking at you, Madam Web and Morbius and Craven and whatever. But then we ran the numbers and we said, would it surprise you to find out that out of all the modern Sony Marvel movies, going from the animated Spider-Verse movies, the Venom movies, Madam Web, Craven, Morbius, that they've been profitable overall, that they've actually made Sony money? It was crazy. It was very eye-opening when we ran the numbers. Look, I think it was time for them to move on from the live-action Venom, even though I was generally a fan of the franchise. Going the animated route is interesting, but what really fascinates me is that you got the directors of Final Destination Bloodline as the people making this. What? So look, there's nothing in the official announcement. That sounds like an R-rated Venom animated movie to me. If you're not doing R-rated, I don't know why you get out and get the guys from Bloodlines. And Bloodlines is by far my favorite Final Destination film. I'm not even a big fan of the franchise, but Bloodlines won me over, man. That movie is so bonkers and so crazy and so out of its mind. I had a blast watching it, and that these guys are doing this is crazy. Now, that is going to bring up the question then. Is this a prequel to the Venom movies? Is it a sequel to the Venom movies? Is it completely not attached to the live-action Venom movies at all? And when they say Tom Hardy is involved, does that mean he's going to be voicing Eddie Brock / Venom again? Does it mean he's just coming on as a producer? I mean, so look, there's a lot here we still don't know. So right now, I'll only base my response and reaction to we are getting a Venom animated movie, and it's being directed by the Bloodlines guys. Sign me up. Sign me up. This sounds wild. And it's going to be done by Sony Animation, the same people behind Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and all that kind of stuff. So I think this sounds fantastic. I'm very excited about this news. Rob, you heard that there's a Venom animated movie coming from the guys who made Bloodlines. What do you think about this?
Well, I really kind of like this idea because on one hand, the Into the Spider-Verse movies have been great. So you've got a precedent there. Now, if you'd made a really successful live action movie at Warner Brothers, a Final Destination movie, and your next project is a Venom animated film for Sony, I would think that's because somebody had a good idea and pitched it. Like maybe these guys leveraged their success and went to Sony and said, "We have an idea." Could have been that the idea was floated by Sony and they just had the best pitch. But I just like the fact that these guys had an idea for this movie. That's what I want to see. I don't know why they're doing this. It's kind of
it's a weird departure from what they've done.
That's why I want to believe that it's happening because they either had a good idea or Sony threw out the idea and they come up with a great pitch and somebody said yes and they leapt at it because they could have gone to direct anything after Final Destination Bloodlines.
Well, let's not act like Bloodlines made $1 billion.
Well, no, but I mean in
office,
terms of getting another genre film.
Their names are hot right now.
Yeah, they could have done the new Final Destination movie, but this is a departure. So this is something that's wild, and for that reason alone, it's one of those things where I want to see what happens from a creative standpoint. And if Tom Hardy's going to be involved and agrees to voice it or come on board as a producer or something, I think this character lends itself quite well to animation, especially if you have an adjunct of the animation team that worked on the Into the Spider-Verse movies, because that modern approach, they gave us something with those Spider-Verse movies that we haven't really seen before.
Oh, I love them so much.
And the character of Venom belongs in that kind of an animated scenario. I don't know what it's going to be. All I know is last week, if you'd asked me if I was excited about this, I would have said, well. But knowing that there's probably an authorship behind this and there's a reason it's getting made, I'm like, all right, now you have my attention. I'm in.
Where do we think this lands? Because it's Sony. Is this going to be theatrical, or does this stream on Netflix, or does Disney Plus take it?
Oh, I think it's definitely going to be theatrical.
I do too.
100% it's going to be theatrical.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, because Netflix does work with Sony, but I guess it would be on Disney Plus then.
Well, it all depends on how they're going to structure it. I mean, theoretically speaking, they could take it anywhere if they wanted to. I mean, if they could put it on Disney Plus, they could put it on Peacock, they could put it on Paramount Plus, they could put it on HBO. I mean, it's really a high spec. That's the thing about Sony. They adopted we are not in the arms race. We are the weapons manufacturers for everybody else running the arms race, and then we'll sell our product to the highest bidder. It's a philosophy that's been working for them very well, and we'll see what we got. Now, I'm willing to bet, it's not saying anything here, I'm willing to bet it's going to be in the same animation style as Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Because that's worked for them, and I think they're going to want it to visually be identified with Spider-Verse. Not that we know if it's actually going to be connected to Spider-Verse. It does bring up another interesting thing, though. Look, we've known for a while, although some people just seem to refuse to get the memo, we are not going to be getting a live-action Miles Morales anytime soon. You know, Kevin Feige came out and said explicitly, the one thing that I've been told is I have to keep my hands off Miles Morales. I have no access to Miles Morales, done, because Sony's got a lot of plans for him. So we're not going to see a live action Miles. But with Venom ending his Sony movie run, it did bring up a lot of speculation about whether or not we could see a new iteration of Venom in the MCU. If Sony's going to make another animated movie, I'm starting to doubt we're going to get Venom anytime soon in the MCU either. I don't know, Rob, what do you think about that?
Well, I probably, I agree with you. You know, I think also during the Into the Spider-Verse development process and Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, they might have hit on a Venom idea that they thought was really, really good. But they knew they wanted to have that a different kind of a sensibility, and these directors might have had the best pitch for it. So I would agree. I think that this is Sony further cementing their control of the Spider-Verse franchise. And look, there are other stuff they tried it. The Madam Webs, the Morbiuses, the Cravens, that didn't work. What worked was Venom. Let's continue on with that. That makes sense. That's a good business plan for me. It makes sense to me.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I love it. We're getting a Venom animated movie. That's fine, but it's going to be made by the guys who made Final Destination Bloodlines, which I thought was bonkers great, and combining this, it could be pretty awesome. I don't know, whatever you guys think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.